So, Charity Bailey, I am one of your biggest fans. Very excited to talk to you today.
I'm
Um,
excited to be here with you and thank
oh,
you.
well, first, we're going to talk about something that I think is really important and that needs to have the spotlight more, which is grief and how to deal with it and manage it. And especially on the holiday season, I know you've been through some really hard stuff over the last few months. So we'll get to that in a moment. But in case anyone doesn't know who you are and what you do, let me just brag on my girl for a minute. You've seen her on TV's Right This Minute, nationally syndicated show. There's news and entertainment headlines and viral videos. And you're one of the hosts, but also your laugh steals the show. I live for your laugh. It makes my heart happy.
Well, thank you. Our goal is to make folks happy. These days, the headlines are daunting, right? And
Yeah.
our viewers are able to come to our show and laugh a little bit, let your hair down. My co-host and I are like family, and we laugh, we cry. We have some of the most incredible videos that you will see. And most times we have them before they go viral because we're that good. Our
I know
researchers
you
are the
are.
bomb.
I am thought to myself, how do they keep getting content on this kind of a year and you do it? I don't
Yeah.
know how, but you do it.
Yeah, and we're trucking right along. It's season 10 of Right This Minute, and we're doing it from home like everybody else. But the folks at home who are consuming videos are also creating videos, and they've gotten even more creative in this time too. So it gives us even more content for the show, and so we're just moving along. We love what we
Oh,
do, and yeah, 10 seasons. I've been here 6 of them. I don't know where the time is gone.
I know you look down and then here we are all of a sudden here. So yeah, and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
wonderful addition to the show. And of course, I know you
Thank
just
you.
launched a new web series called Girl, We Need to Talk. And that is everything from grief to taking care of yourself to love. And I just love the whole message behind that. And that's every Wednesday, correct?
Every Wednesday on YouTube, and yes,
Okay.
the show was birthed out of my grief. My dad died in 2018. And I just remember one night I was laying in my bed in a puddle of tears going, Lord, there has to be something that's going to come out of this. In my life and over the years, I've learned that when I go through something, it's not just for me to go through it, but it's to help somebody else as well. And so in that moment, I was just like, this level of pain, I've never felt this before. So there's got to be some purpose in it. And seriously, Sandy, one morning I woke up in the middle of the night, early morning. It was like maybe like 5 or 6. And I just pulled out, I have a notepad, in my journal that I, have next to my bed. And I just started writing down episodes. And really, it's about the women in my life who carried me through that time. Because I've always been the daddy's girl, and I've always been like, the home girl, the guy's girl, the sports chick. But it was the women as I've gotten older who have just like completely covered me. And so I have several girlfriends who have experienced loss, whether it be a parent or a sibling. And they just really, carried me along. So the series starts with my therapist because it started there with her. Uh,
Oh, and
and
I
I just
love
think
that
that
you did
it's,
that, by the way. That was the
yeah.
coolest thing ever to see your therapist on camera and so openly speaking about your journey together. Oh, how powerful was that?
Well, and I love Miss J because she has really held my hand and helped me heal my heart throughout this time. And the thing is, we're all grieving at this point, with coronavirus hitting the
Yeah,
country, well, hitting the
the
world
world.
really, but the way it's hit, us, we're losing jobs, we're losing lives. There's so much uncertainty. We're still fighting for social justice. There's just so much going on that I felt like it was important to start the show with the mental health aspect and tapping in and it being okay for you to not be okay. I feel like we need to normalize grief. We need to normalize therapy. We need to normalize, emotional and mental health and the conversation surrounding them because they're so taboo. But it's okay, like it's okay to not be okay and to seek help so that you can get okay. That's the only
Yes.
way we're going to do it, right?
Oh, God bless you. God bless you for having,
Yeah.
that's really what it's all about is finding a way through it, the dark tunnel that we
Mhm.
all go through at some point in our lives. And a lot of us this year are experiencing grief really to this level for the first time. And
Mhm.
talking about what you learned and thanking people who helped you along the way. And I know you have just gone through 100-pound weight loss. Now, was this
Yeah.
a personal decision? Did this just happen slowly? Tell me a little bit about that.
So I elected to have the gastric sleeve surgery. And
Okay.
so all of this is full circle. It's all connected. So again, that's why we started Girl We Need to Talk with therapy. And then we went back, we talked to my sisters because we experienced it all different, even though we experienced it, together. We talked to my mom about her relationship with my dad and domestic violence, but there's an episode called Battling My Body because this grief journey is what brought me to the place of going, I need to take matters into my own hands. Uh, a lot of people don't know this, but in 2017, I was on my menstrual cycle for 5 weeks.
Oh,
My body
whoa.
has not been the same since. Yeah. And you know this, people online, viewers, they say things. And you're like, if you had any idea what I'm going through, I would literally like leave work early as soon as we got done taping. It was all I had to like make it home and get back and forth because I was just in this constant state of pain. And so as a result, that's trauma to the body. I'm working out, trying to eat the right things. I cannot lose weight to save my life. Instead, I'm gaining weight. Then when my dad passed in 2018, I noticed I didn't eat for 3 days and I gained 10 pounds. And then in September of 2019, I hurt myself boxing, and I love boxing. Any of you who follow me on social media, like I love boxing. It's always been me and my dad's thing too, boxing and football, but it's the one sport that I can actually compete in because I'm strong and I'm southpaw.
I get it.
And so I'm actually coordinated at that. But I hurt myself boxing. And that's because at that point, I think I was like 360 pounds. And I was like, Charity, so now the things that you like to do, you can't do because you're hurting yourself. I felt like I was in this
Oh,
cycle of
yeah.
hopelessness because it's one thing, like, and let's be very clear. I love being a curvy woman. I love being a plus size woman. But at that point, it was like, now you're trying to work out for your health, but you're hurting yourself while you're trying to get healthy. So something's got to give, right? Nothing's wrong with my thyroid. I don't have diabetes. I don't have any of the things associated with obesity, which doctors, their mouths always hang open. My surgeon actually told me, Sandy, I don't know if we're going to be able to get this covered because aside from you entering your foot and having heavy cycles, you're healthy on paper. You're just obese. And I said, I'm 363 pounds. Like, what do you mean? Just. But that's the thing. I'm like, I decided to have the surgery so that I could take my health back. And so, yes, I did that in May. And I've lost, I think, like 104-ish pounds. Also, they be trying to play me, sis, because they only count from surgery day. And I'm like, my highest weight was 372. I am now 272. So you need to pay me, run me all my money. Yeah, yeah.
That's like a golden number. Like once you get into like certain digits, like 100 is
Yeah.
huge.
It is. It is. And so one of the episodes on Girl We Need to Talk, I sit down with one of my girlfriends. It actually launched this week on Wednesday. She lost 100 pounds in the CrossFit gym. She just,
Wow.
got a fire under her and she started with like a small goal. And to this day, it's her sanctuary, And so we
Wow.
talk about body image and body positivity. And some people are just mean. We talk about being mean to ourselves, but also the beauty standards and how that affects self-esteem. It's a lot. It's a lot. And
But you know what?
so,
As a woman, this is all interconnected. We
it
hold
is.
our emotions inside our bodies and
Mm-hmm.
in our skin, in our thoughts, and it just
In our
manifests.
being. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
And I eat mine too.
me too. And it always tastes
Mm-hmm.
delicious. And then later I feel
Yeah. Exactly. And so and that's another key part to this though, is that now I can't binge eat. I can have liquor again, but like my vices are gone. And so it's just me. And so I've told people before, you see this transformation, the before and after pictures on my social media pages and stuff. But what folks don't see is the transformation that's been happening in my heart, because those pounds were the equivalent of the baggage that I was carrying on my heart too.
And did
And I
you
didn't
know at
know
the time
that.
that was part of you?
No, I didn't. You know me, I'm happy go lucky, I'm confident, I'm big and bold and strong. What I'm learning though is that some of that was just body armor,
Wow.
and so people who know me have even said like, wow, you've changed a lot, and I'm like, well, I've had time to sit in it, like, and again, now that we've been in lockdown and in quarantine, I'm by myself. It's just me and my dog. So I don't have anything to do but sit and pray and think and journal and get this right. And it's hard. So I don't ever want people to think that like, oh, healing, because self-care and self-love and healing and therapy and all those things are so catchy and hashtaggy these days. But that work is hard. Because just when you think you hit a new breakthrough, you peel back another layer and fall apart again in a different area of your life.
Yeah.
And so to your point, it is also interconnected. And again, that's how we got here. Therapy, which is why we started the show with therapy, is how I got to electing to do the gastric sleeve. Actually, the therapist I had to see said to me, he said, "You are a really good candidate." And I said, "Oh, cool. Like, yeah, I'm overweight." He said, "No, I'm asking you these questions because you have to do like this long questionnaire." And then he goes in, looks at it, and then pulls the things that look like red flags to him. He said, "But you were able to explain each thing that looked very problematic to me, which means you've been doing some work." I said, "Child, I've been in therapy since 2018. I went in 2013 to my therapist in Oakland. She was legit too. But I'm like, I've been at this a minute, like, and I'm not gonna lie to you because lying to you is lying to me. And I've been doing that. Where has it gotten me?"
Right. But I think that's so powerful what you just said about like, then you were just with yourself. And when you take away your vices, whatever they may be, and a lot of people, including myself, sometimes you're not even conscious on what they are. Social media is an easy example. Nobody
Oh
thinks
yeah,
total vice.
mindless. You can
Yes.
just, yep. But then what are we doing when we're on there? We're going, oh well, what's Sandy doing? Oh well, she's hiking. Dang, I still can't hike. Dang, I suck because I can't do. You know what I mean? Not
Yes.
knowing what maybe Sandy was going through is what led her to the hike,
Yeah.
or led her to these spaces. And so it's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yes.
Shutting down from people, our social circles. Before we could just go out and have drinks or, just go out to get out of the house so that we don't have to be with ourselves. And so many of us are having to sit with ourselves and sit in our stuff. And I think that it's a good thing.
I
I
think
think
so
it's
too. It's not a journey I wanted to go on, but deep down, it's something I think is necessary, probably for all of us to really think about what is it like if I'm just with myself? Do I like myself? Can I be with myself?
yeah. And I will tell you this. I'm not sure if you know this, but you're one that I saw doing that a few years ago, and I was like, huh,
Aw.
okay. Because you shared with me when you came to visit, and I was like, huh, okay. And so that's when I started going, you know what? Yes, Charity, you do need to start going to do certain things by yourself so that you can sit with yourself. We live very busy lifestyles as regular folks. We live even busier lifestyles as entertainment industry folks. And
Yes.
our industry can be toxic too, and the people in it. And so some of that, all of that is a part of it. It's layer on top of layer on top of layer. And so I saw you doing that, and I was like, okay,
That's
I
nice.
think yeah, but it's courageous because people don't know that it takes so much to dig deep and get in the dirt with yourself.
Wow. That's really nice
Yeah.
to say that. Thank you. I mean, you just never know when someone will have a nugget of something, like
hmm
something just makes enough sense in the moment to say, maybe I should try that, or maybe there's something
hmm
to that. So let's
Yes.
circle back because, like, I know the last couple of years, especially, have been so hard dealing with the loss of your dad. What has made it easier for you to get through? Because we're right in the thick of the holiday season. I mean, number one, would you recommend therapy or a good tribe to be with?
Th- It's several things. It's not
Yeah,
just one. So for me, off the top, it would be to tap in with yourself.
yeah.
Do a self check and evaluation. What is it that you need? How's your heart? One of my girlfriends, she's in the episode called Sister Circle. So all of those women, clearly, I have a large tribe.
You do.
But she stopped saying, "How are you doing?" years ago, her and another girlfriend. And they say, "How's your heart?" And
Oh my
if you
gosh,
pay attention, yeah, it triggers a different answer.
it absolutely does. That's such a
Yes.
wonderful thing.
And so as a result, on Fridays, or Friday or Monday, whichever day it lands, we do a talk back for girls, for Girl We Need to Talk, called "How's Your Heart?" And it's just a tap in on IG Live. But that is so important because when she calls me and says, "How's your heart?" I say it to men that I date, and that's how I do. That's how I do this check here to see what your EQ is like. Because typically men go, "How's your heart?" I mean, it's fine. I haven't been to the doctor. No,
Right.
how's your heart? And so, in asking myself that, I was able to give a response that was a little more honest, even with myself, and to say, I'm not okay. So the first Thanksgiving after my dad passed, I took a break. I left. Thanksgiving is very big in our family. We get together, it's like 50 of us. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't go back to Sacramento. There was so much happening in the process. I felt bad because I'm really close to my sisters and I know that they needed me, but I had to choose me in that moment.
Mm.
So I tapped in, I checked out.
Was that hard?
So it was hard to do, but it was a boundary that I needed to set for myself. And I went to my friend Rakia's house. She's also in this Sister Circle episode. And we did nothing. Even her family was like, why are you guys coming over? We sat in her house all weekend. We made breakfast. We laughed. We joked. We cried a little bit. We talked about men. We ate. We drank good. We just needed to connect and shut the world out. And so I want people to, first of all, tap in with yourself, check in on how's your heart, surround yourself with people you love and the things that bring you joy. Miss J said that in the episode about therapy. What brings you joy? Little things, the cup of tea in the morning, your children's laughter, your children not being here, sending them away so that you spend time with yourself. Whatever it is, taking a walk, whatever brings you joy, and whoever you feel the safest around, the places you feel loved, do those things.
Yeah. Different people
also
have different energies. And the more you
Yes.
know yourself, the more you'll know what energy you need to be around.
Exactly. And that's that tapping in part. And that's why I say start there. Because once you know what you need and want, then you can navigate it. See, I do. I have close friends in every state. My sister laughs because she's like, you're the only person I know that has like 15 close friends in every city. But I also know, like, okay, these friends provide this for me. I provide this for this. You know what I mean? And so I went to sit with Rakia because she's my friend who she lost her brother when she was 21 and I think he was 22. She's, had a divorce. She talks about all of it in her episode. So I'm not, airing out her laundry. Yeah. The point is she is one of those people who is always in the middle. She brings peace and calm to me. Mm. And because I know that, I knew that I could go there and sit up under her and just, get that shelter of love, right? One of the other big things is honoring the traditions, honoring the memory of that person. So for me, it's football. Most of my dad's life lessons came to me in the form of boxing and football. When he first died, it was so hard for me to watch football. It was hard for me to see the football lights. Like one night I just pulled over and broke down because I saw the lights. We had a tradition in our house from the time I was a child of Friday night football. And so like on Friday nights, even when he tried to get away from me, he said, I'd be like, Daddy, the lights, because the lights were so close to our house. I could see them when they powered on. And he'd be like, all right, well, I guess you're coming. I'm not getting away from you. But that was our thing. Yeah. And after games, he would call me and like, hey, get your coach. He just messing up everything. He'd call me and coach me up about things. And I miss that. Even to this day, sometimes a good game is happening. And I've learned though, now I just text a friend. Or my friends will text me because they know that about me, right? But it's important for me to still honor that tradition. And I have a mug, it's over here, but my friend sent me that has his pictures on it. And she's like, so that you can have coffee or tea with your dad on Sundays.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Okay, so your journey has been amazing with how to handle all this. So what are some, like, if you broke it down into like little tips, little steps?
Well, first of all, tap in with yourself. Ask yourself, how's your heart, right? You got to start there so that you have a meter as to what you need and the boundaries that you need to set for yourself and for other people. Also surround yourself with the people that you love and the things that bring you joy. So, whatever your thing is, do those things, the healthy ones, that is, right? So for me, I like to spend time with my sisters. We do Father's Day together. And that's just to kind of honor my dad, but also so that we can be together. The first year, Thanksgiving, I spent with a friend. I spent Christmas with them though. And so that just made me feel safe, and happy. Also honor their traditions and the things that you remember about them, the things that they love to do. For us, it was football, so it was hard for me to watch football the first, few months after he passed. But now on Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, I do that. I just kind of sit and I chill and I have my mug. My friend got me this mug so I could have coffee with my daddy or tea with my daddy. And so I do those things. Self-care. I know that that's popular now, but like self-care is so important. And we actually start Girl, We Need to Talk with therapy and we end with therapy. And that is all about, the last episode is all about self-care and how we take care of ourselves, taking a time out, rest, take a nap. I know that some people, we all grieve different, and some folks, they need to stay busy. But at some point, you got to power down and feel it, you know?
The only
And
way out
so
is through. That's what they say.
yes, yes. And so self care can look like, girlfriends. It can look like, pool days, spa time, a bath,
A walk
whatever
outside.
it is, a walk outside, journaling, whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself, do that. And then finally find a support group or a therapist. I know that, everybody can't afford therapists. Everybody's not ready for therapy. But support groups are amazing. They have grief support groups, and a lot of the churches and nonprofit organizations offer them. And that's also been helpful to me and some other people. So also just know that you're not alone. You're not the only one grieving. You're not going to be the soppy wet blanket because you're sad. Like, just own your stuff and allow the people who love you to love on you as well.
Oh my gosh, that was so wonderfully said. I just adore you, Charity. Thank you for sharing your heart and your journey, and just for being who you are, and sharing that with the world. So on we could see you on a Right This Minute national
Yes.
syndicated show. It's on whatever market. There's a million different markets it's on. So
Yeah. So whatever city you live in, you can go
Yeah.
to writethisminute.com and click on air times, and it'll drop down your city and your state, and we'll be there waiting to make you laugh and, help your day move along. And then also Girl, We Need to Talk is on YouTube. It's under Miss Charity Bailey, and all of my social media platforms are Miss Charity Bailey. So follow me there and say hello when you come through.
Thank you so much, Charity.
Yes, thank you so much as well. And again, 'tis the season for happiness and for joy, but also some of us are not so happy during the holidays, and that's okay too. Whatever it is that you need to do that, and we'll make it through.